Daniel Hayes was 32, a self-made entrepreneur who had built his wealth from nothing. After years of grinding, late nights, and endless risks, he finally owned a thriving logistics company worth tens of millions. He had also found love, or so he thought. Her name was Jessica Moore, 28, a vibrant woman who made every room brighter when she walked in. They met at a charity gala, and from the start, Daniel believed he had found someone who saw him, not his bank account. But money changes things. Friends, family, even strangers treated Daniel differently. That's why, when the idea of marriage came, his lawyers strongly advised a prenup. It wasn't about love, it was about protection. One evening, sitting in the living room of his penthouse, Daniel slid the papers across the table. "Jess, this is just a precaution. It's standard." Jessica's face twisted. "A prenup? Daniel, that's insulting. You think I'm here for your money?" He raised his hands calmly. "No. I just want us to be clear. If our love is real, a piece of paper won't matter." She pushed the papers back. "No. I won't sign. If you trust me, you don't need it." Daniel paused, his sharp mind working silently. Then he smiled gently. "I understand." He kissed her forehead and tucked the papers away. Jessica thought she had won. She bragged to her friends later that week. "I told him no, and he dropped it. That's how much he loves me." But Daniel wasn't foolish. While Jessica thought the prenup was gone, he was quietly preparing something else. A living trust, ironclad contracts, and a restructuring of his company that made sure no outsider could ever touch his empire. Weeks later, their wedding day arrived. The hall was decorated with roses and chandeliers, hundreds of guests watching as Jessica walked down the aisle in a designer gown. But right before the ceremony, Jessica's bridesmaid overheard her whispering on the phone. "Don't worry, baby. Once I marry him, half of everything is basically mine. Just give it time." The bridesmaid, shocked, slipped the information to Daniel. At the altar, when the officiant asked if Daniel was ready to take Jessica as his wife, he smiled, but not at her. "Actually, there's something I need to say." Gasps filled the room. Daniel pulled out an envelope. "Jessica, I wanted to believe you loved me for me. But I know about the phone call. I know about your plans." Jessica's face went pale. What? That's not true." Daniel held up his hand. "Save it. I may not have forced you to sign a prenup, but I protected myself anyway. Every asset is locked in a trust. You'll never touch a penny." The guests erupted in whispers. Jessica tried to lunge for him, but security gently stepped in. Daniel took a deep breath. "I walked into this marriage with love. You walked in with greed. That's why this ends here." He turned, walked down the aisle, and left the hall, while Jessica collapsed in embarrassment in front of everyone she had hoped to impress. Later that night, Daniel sat alone on his balcony, sipping whiskey. Heartbroken, yes, but also relieved. He had dodged a bullet. And as the city lights flickered below, he whispered to himself, "Sometimes, the greatest protection isn't the paper you sign. It's the truth you uncover in time."